Hey guys, nice to see you today. How you doing? I am doing well. I've got a video for you today about Profusion. I have already done one video on Profusion. When it was first coming into Target, I did something, so that was quite a while ago. I looked back on that and I was like, wow, it doesn't seem like that much time has passed, but it has. And what prompted me to really go ahead and do one today, okay, first off, I was already thinking about it because Lipgloss Leslie had mentioned a Profusion palette in a favorites video of hers, and I thought, oh my gosh, I think I have that. I want to try it. It was really good, and it just kind of drove me to want to dig into more things that I have that I've either picked up in the store or been sent through PR. Then the very next day, I'm going into Walmart and I turn the corner and the whole section that used to be Cokey is now Profusion. We're talking like permanent space in the display across the street from Physicians Formula and CoverGirl. It's like there is Profusion. It has a really big space in Walmart now. So tons of palettes. There are bigger palettes, smaller palettes, lip sets, eye sets, like so much stuff, things that I have not even tried yet. So I did a bit of a haul when I saw that, and it just really, it excited me a lot because I was taken back to my like high school makeup using self. I never got anything high end. I only shopped at Walmart because if you're rural like I was, I mean, Walmart may be your only place within reasonable driving distance to shop. I mean, we didn't get a Dollar General in our town till I was about to graduate. So I would always shop the drugstore section at Walmart, and I thought if my high school self ran into this section of basically $10 or less palettes, I would have flipped. Like, I mean, I'd love to see Revolution showing up in Walmart, but anymore, like, they've expanded so much. There's so much more than just palettes now. Like, they've got foundations and concealers. Like, they would take up some room. I don't know where they'd put them. But anyway, tangents here, stories. I'm sorry, but I just, like, I thought for a second, like, if I saw this a long time ago in Walmart, I would have died. Like, just, and I really was impressed to see it there because I think it will sell much better than Cokey, and no offense to Cokey, but almost every time I got there and I would kind of get intrigued and be like, okay, I want to try a foundation, I want to get a concealer, you know, just basic parts of the line that I wanted to experiment with. So often they were cracked open, compromised, messed up, like an obvious mess had taken place there, and the prices of everything were even a little higher than your CoverGirl, Revlon, Maybelline, etc. I do have a really nice brush from them. I may have a couple lip products, but it was just a brand that never really drew me in, and so now Profusion's there. I think it was a smart move. I think that stuff is gonna sell. Back when I was in high school, I wasn't doing like online makeup shopping. If you told me the words Ulta and Sephora, I wouldn't have even known what they meant until maybe college. They just really weren't a thing. So what I was shopping for was what I saw in person. So if you wanna see some affordable palettes, I hope more Walmarts are getting it than just mine. My Walmart tends to be pretty on top of things. They have a beautifully lit and like laid out makeup section, and now they got Profusion. And you might say, well, what about Target? Well, I have seen Profusion in Target, but I can't remember the last time I actually did. I remember hauling the Chocolates palette and the Pro Pigment palette and the Siennas and finding those there months and months ago. And it was more like an end cap, not so permanent looking display. Like, I'm not sure if they just bring it in occasionally when there's new stock or something and it kind of floats around. This section in Walmart was clearly a permanent spot for Profusion. So I think I've talked enough. What I'm gonna do in this video, I'm gonna do as much of a full face of Profusion as I can, and we're just gonna chat about some different things. I haven't even put foundation on. I thought, well, I could just go ahead and do it, but then it's kind of satisfying to watch a person like do their foundation, so I don't know. I'm gonna do that, but then I've got like their whole concealing palette. There are powders and kind of multitasking things there. I picked up a blush palette at Walmart. I've got several different eye palette options, so yeah, we're just gonna jump in. I first used this Master Prime actually before I turned the camera on. It has an SPF 30 in it, and it's exactly what I was looking for. A lightweight primer that contains the SPF, because I'm really happy with my moisturizer, which is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base, but I want to get that SPF every day, and I feel like if it's in the primer, then that makes it a little more weightless and I'm still getting the benefit. Then I'm going to use my Physicians Formula here. I wear this in LN3. It's the Healthy Foundation. Love this stuff. And I'm just going to streaker around here. I used to be able to, I think, kind of get over all over my face with one dip in, but I've used it quite a bit, so there's less on the doe foot when I pull it out. One thing about Profusion though, if my eyelids look a little bit reddish, I used yesterday the Wanderlust palette, which I picked up at Walmart, one of the $10 palettes. They got a couple palettes that were marked at like $12 and change, but most everything, I would say, most of the stuff is 10 bucks or less. But anyway, used the Wanderlust palette, did a very bold purpley look, and I think it stained me a little bit. I mean, I remembered as I was putting it on thinking like, wow, these are intense. These are here to party, like, wow. And they didn't want to go home. I had a real productive day yesterday. I didn't vlog. I opted to just, I don't know, get a lot of stuff done around the house, a lot of washing of things, lots of laundry, washing of makeup brushes and sponges. I'm building this up just a little bit here because I just don't feel like I got much on. We ended up at Sam's Club, trying to stock up on some good produce and stuff like that. Got the best freaking huge Honeycrisp apples. Oh, yummy. And what else? Oh, my bracket is still looking fantastic. I've only lost a few games on my bracket. It's looking so green and lovely. I don't know how I've done it. I haven't lost a single Elite 8 team yet that I had, you know, marked down. It's been fun this year. Just ask Bub how many times I've bragged about my bracket over the weekend. This was one of the things that I saw at Walmart. I'm trying to stick to everything that I have seen at Walmart because I have been sent some Profusion stuff over time, and some of it, like, it can be hard to tell what things are limited edition, what things maybe just came out for the holidays. So I'm really trying to stick to what I saw for sure at Walmart because it all clearly had a very permanent spot. And one of those things is this Pro Conceal and Contour palette. So this is gonna be one of those things with some creams and some powders all together. For example, this side, there is one cream. There was a shield sort of tray over that side too, but the sticky stuff, it kind of got a little deformed like when I had to take the stickers off. So I kept it on this side, which is all cream over here. You've got correctors, you've got 4 concealers, and then a cream contour down there. Can you even see? So what I'm going to do is basically use these concealers as my concealer today. Not a first impression. I have played with this stuff before, and I'll kind of talk as I go about how it went. Peachy corrector first. Really do like this shade of peach corrector. It's a little bit on the salmony side, which tends to be really good for me. Anyway, I was wearing this the other day, and I thought it looked flawless, my concealer, once I was all done. And then I got out in broad daylight, like I said, Sam's Club, and I felt like everything looked a little bit settled. Like I could see so much, not necessarily wrinkle texture, but kind of like just a roughness, like little bumpiness all over, not breakout or anything. What am I trying to say? It just looked like a non-smooth texture of the skin. It didn't show up that much like right after my application, but it was in the wear of the product, you know, a good 5-6 hours in of wear was when I was seeing it. So for that reason, this may not be the kind of thing I'm going to grab for when it's a special occasion, special night out, super important. Just stuff needs to look its freshest. It may not be what I go for. I'm going to go to Ivory now. I don't know why I dipped straight into the palette with my brush. That's kind of weird. But this would be the lightest concealer. And I'm going to just use this now to brighten. Just kind of dabbing. Dabba, dabba, dabba. It is a nice texture though. Like it blends easily. I'm going to use maybe a little bit of the light right next door to cover a few little blemishes that have wanted to pop up on me lately. But not dry in texture in the least, and this was one of the things that had been sent to me like quite some time ago from Profusion, and I see no signs of dryness in these creams. But the one thing that was kind of disappointing is the palette that was like a combo eye and cheek palette. I'll make sure to show it here before the video's up, but it was the one Lipgloss Leslie was talking about. They do have it on Profusion's website, but they did not have that in Walmart, and it was a really neat palette with like 2 6-color eyeshadow looks basically, and then maybe 6 blush and highlights. But look at my coverage here. Like, I cannot complain, and it feels very, like, moisturized. Maybe the thing was it was just a little too much moisture for me by the time it was all said and done. The other day when I did this look, I need a little neutralization around the nose. And you gotta kind of ask yourself with palettes like this, you are getting all the shades. And I mean, I see some corrector shades I may not use, some deeper concealer shades I may not use. And then on top of that, it doesn't go so dark that the darkest skin tones have something to use here. Unless there's another color option I'm not aware of. So it's the issues, it's the questions you have to ask yourself that you will run into whenever you see these multi-skin tone palettes. Also, I did use the cream sculpt yesterday, and I was kind of like, I didn't feel like it did that much. I mean, I could have probably played it up super heavy and made it do a lot for me, but I think I'm just gonna try some of the contour powders today. A powder in here that I do love is this beige highlight. This is a matte highlight. Everything, all these are matte. This is a powder shimmer highlight, and this is a cream shimmer highlight. So I'm gonna use the beige, and this does like set everything really beautifully up here. Like, it adds coverage. It looks nice. I just expect it's gonna look a little heavier as the day goes on like it did yesterday. But I think I did a little better job today of not pasting on as much of the cream concealer as I did yesterday. So that may affect my wear. And usually that's the culprit, you know, if I'm wearing makeup and I'm feeling like by midday or the end of the day, it looks like a lot is on there, or I'm seeing a lot of texture or something. Sometimes the solution is simply just applying less the next time. I don't feel like, you know, the rest of my skin where I've just got the Physicians Formula foundation, I don't feel like I really need to set all over the face. I am gonna use a little bit of light, maybe a little bit of medium contour. Then this one says medium bronzer, that corner. This says deep contour. So I'm using the light and the medium contour. Maybe I'll go to a little bit of the bronzer. Use a little warmth up here. The thing about these palettes, it can make things a bit more fussy than you need them to be, you know, especially if you've really honed in on, you know, you got a concealer that you just love, maybe it's just a little doe foot applicator job, and you really enjoy it. Like, do you need to get a palette full of concealers then? I mean, I could see maybe somebody who wants to experiment a little bit more with different tones, with the cream contouring idea, which you could do with some of the concealers in here as well. Try correctors. It is there for you. Plus you do get half side of this as a contouring palette. But I should also point out they had plenty of freestanding, like they're about yay big and yay big. Don't you love when people say that? People around me say that. But they had little like contour palettes or little highlight palettes, more compact things. You don't have to resort to this if all you want is contouring shades. I'm gonna try a little deep contour. Yeah, we're gonna just try to go in, as they say. I like the powders, and I think we're all gonna enjoy the highlight when that comes around too, because I really thought that looked pretty yesterday. So I'm a little bronzed, I'm a little contoured, got my under eyes set. I think I'm gonna move over to blush and then go back to this and finish with highlight. This is my blush palette that I got. Got this one at Walmart. It says Blush 2. I don't know if you can tell, Blush 2 there. They also had a Blush 1. So this was the deeper one. I don't know why I always gravitate toward the deeper blushes, but there's just certain shades in here. I saw them and I thought, oh my gosh, those look so pretty. But the one looked pretty too. Like, I would go back and probably get that as well. But they're intense. Little goes a long way. Yesterday I was wearing Lovely and I was like, wow, I gotta be careful. Today I think I'm gonna take a little bit of Smitten right underneath there. It's a little peachy color. I love blush. Blush is my spirit animal of makeup, if that's even a thing. But I like this palette because you got some really light shades that are just more like shimmery over here, and you could kind of top off, like let's do Pink Star and kind of go over top, a little more glowy blush action. I like the difference in finishes though. There are a couple of fully matte shades. You got a real deep berry, and they are pigmented. So yes, get you a blush palette. But I'm gonna go back to this Conceal and Contour. I'm gonna do the cream in Dreamy. It's a really nicely textured cream. And just dab this in here. Just kind of give me a little, I don't know, little base, so to speak. And then we'll really set it off with the shade called Innocent right here. Now we're gonna bring it. This. It's lovely. It's really bright, but yet it doesn't look, it's not chunky in texture at all. It's not chunky in appearance on the skin. The other day I had put this on and put the blush on top and it didn't come off nearly as intense. So that's always an option, but I'm kind of digging. I feel so bright and so alive. Just take a little bit of whatever's left on the brush and kind of let it dab around there. A little on the Cupid's bow. The stuff in this palette, this Pro Conceal and Contour, it can deliver. It's a nice feeling palette too. It's kind of a little bit spongy. Wearing a little less product like I did today might result in a little fresher staying power, but it can cover, I gotta give it that. And I love, you know, what the powders can do. I think the contour shades are pigmented enough. It's just kind of a, you gotta look at and say, do I need it? Am I covered in a lot of these categories? Or am I totally in the mood to sample and experiment? I do have my brow palette, actually, Profusion, which I love. It comes with a variety of brow tones. A lot of them are kind of cool. You have a beige like highlighter shade, your brow wax, double-ended, spoolie, and brow brush, and then a pencil as well. I'm gonna get my brow wax going in here. I kind of forgot that this was something I could use in my video today, but it kind of takes me back to that palette from Too Faced. Was it Brow Drama? What was that called? The palette that I was like obsessed with for a good maybe 2 years on my channel. I'm gonna use some medium brown, I think, to start. It wasn't Brow Drama. Did they still even make it? But it had like some good brow powders. It had the wax. It was just kind of a great little all-in-one brow kit. And it was compact too. This is, I think, relatively compact. I mean, we're used to seeing this shape and size of palette. As I get a little more toward the end, I'm taking a little bit of the darker shade, just because my brow is even more like concentrated and looks a little darker in that area naturally. But this works so well. And then you got the spoolie. Only thing is, you may want to go in with an actual gel when it's all said and done. I'm doing a little wax here to really set it. Even though you've got the wax in there, like I always feel a little more comfortable if I finish with gel. Medium brown. Can you see right there? Sometimes I go back and edit and I'm like, you made the effort to hold the palette up and put your brush in it for the camera, but you couldn't see. But no, I'm thrilled that Walmart is bringing an affordable palette brand to their store, giving them like a permanent footprint in the store. I think it will do well. I don't think you're gonna see them going away anytime soon. Just my prediction. KFC is now doing chicken and waffles. If you've been watching the NCAA tournament, you've seen how they've now got that commercial where they're using "'Cause I'm your lady," and you see the Mrs. Butterworth and the Colonel coming together. It's really good. And so we got that last night. It was a lot of food. You can get it with like the actual bone-in, you know, original recipe chicken, which Bub did, or you can get the crispy strips, which is what I got, and it was so much food. Like, I couldn't have come close to eating that. I ate one of the waffles and like one of the strips, and I was good. But it was delicious. I mean, it's really a nice experience. Definitely satisfied with how the brow is going. Again, I'm not sure if it's this exact layout still, because this was kind of one of the original things, like when Profusion made their presence in Target, that was there, but it's probably something similar to that. And then I'm just gonna take, let's keep it drugstore, shall we? I used up one of my L'Oreal Boostin' sets, but I found a clear one that I had not yet used. So this is just the clear Boostin' set. Guess I don't really need any extra color anyway. Lay all those little hairs down. And I will prime with Milani, just because I really don't think I didn't see a lot of individual products, period, in this Profusion line. Like, if there was a lip color, it was packaged alongside like a duo lip color, you know? It was like an eye pencil and then an eye glimmer type thing. And then of course, palettes upon palettes. There weren't really any individual products. It's just not that kind of brand, I guess. So I'm primed, still seeing where I was stained a little bit rudely from that other palette, but I think the look was worth it. It was gorgeous. Now let's chat. The Eye and Cheek palette that I mentioned, Lipgloss Leslie talked about, but I did not see in stock in Walmart, looks like this. This is really nice. I really love the two distinct color themes here, like with warm and cool. Let's open. The shadows worked really well. Like I did a really pretty look with it, kind of combining the two sides. And then look at all those pretty blushes, couple highlights, really nice palette. Now these are the ones that I picked up at Walmart just recently, and they've got others. They've got like siennas, they've got the chocolates, which is kind of a green and brown, real earthy kind of palette. I've got a lot of these, so if you've got requests for certain ones, like if you need many more Profusion videos from me, let me know, but this was the one I picked up in store that I did not have, and I just thought, wow, so colorful, but yet somehow seems approachable to me, kind of like the colors I like to wear, a lot of green, some purple. So I did a look with like purple on the upper part of the eye and green on my lower lash line, and I really liked it. And some of these shades, you're gonna notice like some finishes of shimmers might even seem a little chunky as you stick your finger in, like they've just got that, you look up close at it and you see some little chunks in it, but I was able to work with it and smooth it out on the eyes. Use sort of a swiping motion across your eye, definitely use an eye primer, give it something to stick to, but it's all workable, and incredible how little fallout there was with any of this also. For today's video, I'm gonna use one of these three. They had some little 10 color palettes, a lot of them, like it was hard to choose. I ended up going with this one called Smoky. Something about it, I really like this shade up here. I like the kind of coolness that it has, but yet it's got this pretty shade as well, a plum. It seemed like it could go maybe a couple directions that I would really enjoy. This whole top part kind of reminds me of like, you know, that Charlotte Tilbury, either the Pillow Talk quad or that Exaggerized quad that I talked about. Kind of reminds me of that color scheme, and then something deeper and smokier at the bottom. So I thought that would be really fun, very like frequently wearable. And then they had palettes packaged like this, and I went for the Amethyst Eyes and the Chestnut Eyes. So let's show you both of these. These, I mean, I really enjoy how there's an actual hinge on there. Here's the Amethyst. I thought it was a fun, sort of unpredictable selection of shades, and I think that's what's drawing me to a lot of these Profusion palettes, is that they seem really like the certain shades that are in these were very specifically chosen. It's not just like, here's your computer generated gradient of neutrals and greens and that's what you get. Like, here's the Chestnut Eyes, some neutrals, but some kind of like fun neutrals here. We got yellowish, sort of mustardy colors, some pretty metallics, plenty of matte shimmer balance. I think I'm gonna do Amethyst Eyes today. So this will be new to me. Again, like I said, if you wanna see a lot more Profusion, you gotta let me know in the comments section. But I feel like there will be a real renewed interest when people start seeing the all this stuff in their Walmart stores. But I'm gonna take Adorn, I think. This kind of berry shade with some shimmer. You know I'm not scared of putting a little shimmer in the crease. Yeah, Mama's just off of one shadow a week, so I'm ready to play. Very pretty. But I do like the sturdiness of this little palette. Like, it's impressive. And these little ones were definitely under $10. I know my Wanderlust was exactly $10, and then they had some that were the same, like two, I believe, that were the same size as Wanderlust overall, but they had circle pans, and it might have just been because they were newer or something, but they were like 12 bucks, and that was as pricey as it got, my friends. Okay, so we got a little berry thing happening here. I might go up above that with this color called Courage. This is a matte. It's all working just fine for me, gang. Like, I'm pleased with that. I'm going to take my E40 brush and use a little bit of Lively here. It's got a little pinky tone in it. Ooh, very nice highlight shade. Right up under the high point of the brow. And maybe what we could do on the lid is a little bit of a, like a pop right in the center of the eyelid. All these nice clean brushes. I feel like we all want to know what this shade is going to do, so I think that could kind of be our pop. I'm just wondering what to kind of add in here. Maybe one of these bluish little bit colors, maybe some Finesse. Right here it's kind of a shimmery, looks like cool bluish purple. It's pretty, kind of gotta build it just a bit. And we're gonna put that on the inner part of the lid too. See how I'm leaving just a little bit of a gap? And we may take it up to the crease as well for continuity. It's a pretty shade. It's just not, it's not coming off quite as dark as it looks in the palette. So I'm kind of like getting it here at the inside and then using my brush to kind of target it right there in the crease above. That inner crease is always like a hard area for me because my crease just isn't as deep right here. So I'm kind of like always messing around with that. I'll use my E25, see if it can help me blend, get it really smooth. That color though is blending really beautifully into the berry and like that kind of sunsetty sort of color called Courage right in there. That one. There's not a lot of matte in this palette. That's matte. Twilight is matte and Tease is matte, which Tease looks, ooh, that's pretty. That's kind of a dark, dark plum at the end. That's not just black. I feel like this brand is good for people who are like, I'm bored. I want to play. I need something kind of interesting that's gonna like reinvigorate me a little bit makeup wise. Grab one of these. You're not out a lot of money. It's fun to play with. I'm gonna pick up now a little bit more of Finesse and we're gonna build it. Just a bit more what's happening on the outside. I'm in love with what's happening so far. And then I think we're all set up to do the fun little pop on the center. And for that, I'm going to use Poison. I'm using my flat brush here from e.l.f., which is kind of taken over for pretty much all my flat brush needs. Uh-oh, there's a roller. There's a roller trying to escape. There we go. Okay, resituated. But no, this e.l.f. flat brush is awesome. Tons of control. I'm gonna try it with my finger. Sometimes just that amount of pressure, yeah. Right there in the middle. You get kind of a pinky purple vibe out of this palette with this selection of shades that I'm doing today. Not maybe the purest purple. I know I talked about that Viseart Liaison palette and how that's like for the real pure purple lovers. This goes a little bit berry, a little bit different directions. I still like it. Okay, boom. That's pretty. I like that. I hope that looks okay. I hope my inner crease is okay. We've also got this interesting twist you could take on your look by using that pretty brick color. This is definitely not the only look you could turn out. Let's take this Nebula color. This looks even more bluish than Finesse, and we'll kind of smoke out our lower lash line with it. Oh, so you may have seen on my Instagram recently how I was talking about how we put out a bird feeder but nobody's coming to it. Well, the cardinals have discovered that it's there, but they don't want to perch on the feeder. They want me to sprinkle it on the ground, please. So that's what I've been doing for them. It's a male and female cardinal duo. Here's what also stinks. They're so dang sensitive. No offense, cardinals. I like you a lot. I want you to come back. But the girls see them show up and they get really excited and, you know, run up to the window and they're clanging like the blinds near the window and making noise, and then they fly away. So we're just all trying to coexist in our little world, backyard world. There's that navy blue. I like the navy blue. I might mix a little Adorn with that, which was what we originally took to the crease to start the look. Make it a little more berry. I'm just playing. Will this work for pre-K drop-off? Okay. I do want my Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Highlight in my lower inner rim, please. What I'm just going to do here for the sake of time is pop on my mascara and then I'll join you for the lip kit. There's our eye with mascara on, and then I'm going to go to this Lips to Go set. It's a matte lip cream, a matte lip liner, and a sparkling lip topper. This was one of the things that I'd been sent a while back from Profusion. I'm pretty sure they have this shade at Walmart, but if it's somewhere else, you know, I'll link to it. But I know they've got some version of lip kits there. So the matte lip liner, I'm gonna pop this on. I like the way the lip liners go on. They're really smooth. In the initial video where I talked about Profusion, it was sort of a metallic lip kit, like matte metallic, which I wasn't so much a fan of, but these I kind of like. Honestly, the lip topper makes the whole look like really comfortable, and it wears a decently long time. It's no CoverGirl Outlast, but it's pretty good. So this is kind of our pinky nude set. But that lip liner glides on so easy, smells kind of like vanilla. Then we've got the matte top coat that will kind of dry down. So you could stay in this zone. You could not, you know, put your lip topper on. Okay, while my lip color was drying down, I took my rollers out and I popped on my magnetic Ardell accent lashes there. So yeah, gotta make use of my time. And then we're gonna pop our top coat on here. You could just put that on the center of the lip, I guess, but I'm kind of going hog wild all over. So here's our full face using Profusion palettes. I mean, it all came from palettes outside the foundation, right? And like the eye primer, we used the Pro Conceal and Contour, which I gave you my thoughts on all this stuff as we went. I do like what's in here. I really like the powders best, although I do feel like the concealers will cover. It's just a little more than I'm probably gonna wanna reach for on a daily basis. I think it's more for somebody who just wants to be able to try out a lot in one place. The creams are pretty rich, and I could see it maybe being a bit much for oily skin, even my normal skin. I didn't think the staying power was like super fresh all day, but it's not a bad product, and it really does contain a lot of things and a lot of great contouring powders. But keep in mind, if you're just interested in contouring or just highlighting, they have individual palettes for that too. Super impressed by this blush palette. Kind of want to try the lighter option as well. Every single shade in here will show up and do something for you, something different. Someone with my skin tone is going to use the deeper shades with a much lighter hand, but it's very, very pigmented. I really like this brow palette, actually. I love the tones that are in there. I think the tools that they have in there are nice. It's pretty compact. If you like using brow powders and pairing them with a wax, I think this is a great option. And the Amethyst eyes, I must say, gorgeous shades in there with some kind of unique, unexpected things going on, like purpley shades, but also some pinky berry, some brick red to pair in with it, which I think is going to be stunning. Gold as well. I mean, you could completely forego purples in here and have a totally different kind of look, a cooler look even. So I think that's so cool. Like I said, I was impressed with Wanderlust. I'm excited to play with the Chestnut Eyes too, but thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you've seen Profusion yet in your Walmart stores and what things are you excited to try. Thank you for your time, and I will see you again in my next video. Bye.